So, this is a story of recognition. And this story actually happened in dream time. I was in dream time, and suddenly I heard a man's voice, and he said, "Don't go over there, it's dangerous." And because I'm me, I had to go over there. Now, he told me not to, so that's where I'm going to go. And I went over and I saw this partition, and it was like those accordion partitions that separate rooms in a big building. And so there was the handle, and I took hold of the handle and I started opening up the partition. And as I did, the whole room was filled with this glowing, like a plasma, and it was red and orange and yellow, and it made me think of like lava. Except it was like the whole room was filled with it. And I'm opening the partition and I'm going, wow, that's cool. And suddenly there is me in front of me, right? And looking at me and going, no, and grabbing the handle, trying to close the partition while I'm trying to open it. And that me is going, no, it's dangerous. I've been keeping this closed off so that you would be protected. And I looked at that me standing in front of me and I went, oh, I recognize you. You're fear. And I'm here, so it's okay. And I put my left arm around that me that was in front of me, and I just embraced, kind of did a bro hug, a side hug, and said, it's okay, I'm here now. And the only way that we can be at peace is to open this room completely. So I'd like for you to help me. And together we opened the partition all the way around and then let it go. It just disappeared. And the room was completely open. And that version was no longer there. It was just me. And I was like, wow, this is cool. And then that was over. And it wasn't until that night in meditation, we were listening to a beautiful meditation that we love, 444 hertz. And I'm in deep, and all of a sudden I see this energy moving back and forth between my solar plexus, sacral, and root, and just going back and forth and just very gentle moving. And I realized that the colors that we commonly associate with the solar plexus, sacral, and root are, guess what? Yellow, orange, and red. Ta-da! And I asked, was that in relation to what I had seen in my dream? And of course, as I do with myself, when I ask myself questions like that, it was, duh. Yeah, think. And it was, I'm like, so what's the dealio? And the dealio is that I had set up a gatekeeper because a lot of programming, a lot of information had been taken in, a lot of sensations had been experienced very early in life that made it feel not safe to be here in this body and be me. There's the big me that's infinite and everlasting. And then there's this version that inhabits this body this time round. And that little version, this temporary version, had a lot of fears around stepping into that big version and it not being safe. And I again recognized that it wasn't the fear of being big. I've had this point of view for a long time now that I was afraid of being big. I was afraid of success. I was afraid of all this. Stepping into my power, stepping into my purpose, blah, 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 blah. And I realized all of a sudden it wasn't the fear of being that. I already am that. You can't stop us, and we're all that. And just because we're afraid of it doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but just because I'm afraid of it and I'm pretending it doesn't exist doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's there. That big part of me has always been there, will always be there. It's infinite. And so the only thing that was keeping me from experiencing it and the joy of it was all the fears that were guarding the doors, separating me from it. And I'm like, wow, okay, I got it. And I'm continuing to get it, and I'm continuing to let it flow and move things out of the way. And this morning, I heard myself say, "Self, I would like to tell a story." And I said, well, okay, what story do we want to tell? And this is the story that wanted to be shared. So may it bless you on your journey today as much as it blessed me on mine. And remember, in Lakesh Alaken, I am you, you are me. We are one, always and in all ways. Big love. Have a beautiful day. Love you. Bye.